Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and hello as well to any Packers fans that might be with us. One of my greatest friends in the world is a cheesehead, so good luck in this upcoming game. And welcome back to another playoff edition of 49ers Scouting on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. The 49ers have a huge matchup against the number 1 seed Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field this Saturday. They present a big challenge on defense as Rodgers and Davante Adams present probably the best quarterback-receiver duo in the league. Slowing these two down will be paramount to the outcome of the game. I don't foresee the Packers being able to run the ball consistently against our front, and so slowing down Adams and getting to Rodgers will be the key in the game. It's easier said than done, but is what D'Amico Ryans and company will be tasked with accomplishing. On offense, we need to run the ball and run the ball well. In our Week 3 matchup against the Packers, we had our second worst rushing performance of the season. Some of that had to do with the team losing their top 4 running backs, but part of it was also our offensive line struggling against the bare front used by Green Bay throughout the game. If we can run the ball against Green Bay, we have favorable matchups off of play action that we can exploit. All that being said, let's jump to the film and look at some examples of what to and what not to do against the Packers this weekend. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. One thing the Browns did against the Packers that helped slow down the pass rush and also tied into their run game was they were able to run a number of successful screen plays. Here, the Browns run a screen play off play action and Green Bay doesn't play it well. Cleveland is able to get a huge gain on the play. Then in the red zone, Cleveland is going to come out with 12 personnel with 1 back and 2 tight ends and empty out. We can do this as well with our 21 or 12 personnel. They do this because Green Bay likes to run this bare front with wide edges and will usually play cover 1 man with a 5-man rush. From here, they bunch up 2 receivers, which causes the Packers to stagger their depth to avoid a pick play. And with the off coverage, you get a good look for just a slant. All Baker has to do is look left to move the safety and hit the slant. There will be opportunities for chunk gains off play action. Here, the Browns are going to run a play we run all the time, a speedo concept off of play action. If you're new to the channel, a speedo concept is a clearing route, followed by a deep over or speedo route. The play is there to be made, but for some unknown reason, Baker decides to throw the clearing route that's double covered. I can guarantee you that Jimmy G won't do the same thing. He's thrown that speedo route dozens of times. One thing Cleveland did to run the ball against this front is they kept going back to a sweep play. As you can see here, there's a big hole between the tight end and the tackle. The key is, how do you exploit it? With a sweep play, you'll get a down block off the end, then pull the guard and center on a kickout block and lead block, while getting the tight end up on the linebacker. One key here are the cut blocks off the backside to keep the defensive line from chasing down the play. And here they run it again. And then here they're going to run it again. Each time they had good success, and as you can see, is an area to exploit. Then they'll use misdirection on a play we run as well, since Stefanski and Kyle run the same offensive system. Here they're going to come with a counter and have a wind back block. Think of use check in this role. The plays are there to be made, but we first have to contend with the bare front. In Week 3, Alex Mack struggled numerous times and we struggled to run the ball. When we were able to get Green Bay into a 4-man front, we still struggled executing our reach blocks against their tackles. That will be the key in the run game. Back in the 2019 NFC Championship game, you can see Green Bay was using this same front. We're going to run our toss zone. This time, notice how we're able to execute our reach blocks on Green Bay's defensive tackles. That's where it all begins. Look for those matchups in the game. To me, that's the deciding factor. A lot is made about which quarterback. To me, this is the matchup to watch in the game. You can also see it here. This year when Cleveland was able to execute these reach blocks, they were able to get good gains off the wide zone as well. If we can execute these blocks, we'll have huge lanes to run through all game. If we can't get the run game going and Green Bay is allowed to just tee off on the pass rush, this is going to get ugly quick, as Green Bay is an underrated pass rush team. Then ball security will be paramount. Baker Mayfield and Matthew Stafford had a number of costly turnovers in their games versus the Packers, and that was the deciding factor in those games. Jimmy G has had a number of turnovers in the past 3 games, and so he will need to do his best job of ball security in this game. On defense, we have to defend the deep fade. It's so simple yet incredibly difficult against Rodgers. Rodgers isn't always the most efficient quarterback, but he throws one of the best fades in the game. If he sees that one-on-one matchup, he will gladly take that shot. Here they have Adams in the slot, and these two guys are just so hard to defend. We got burned multiple times by this in our Week 3 matchup. The vast majority of times Green Bay scored in their matchup against us, the Browns and the Rams, were off turnovers in the opposing team's territory or on drives when Rodgers hit the deep fade. On drives where they couldn't hit the deep fade, Green Bay was forced to either punt or settle for a field goal try. Then, if you can take away the deep fade, you have to limit the run after the catch. When teams were able to tackle well after the catch, Green Bay again struggled to score. Here the Packers are going to run a verticals concept to the top, and Rodgers just makes a ridiculous throw, but the safety takes a poor angle and the biggest damage is done after the catch. Then lastly, you have to stay disciplined on Davante Adams or he will torch you all day long. Here, Cleveland just plays poor coverage. They're going to run cover 2 zone, and Green Bay is going to make this look like a screen pass out to the bottom, which draws the coverage to that side. And with the middle zones vacated, they get an easy throw and catch to Davante Adams on a slant. Overall, I do like our matchup in this game. Yes, I'm a fan, but Green Bay is also not a good run defense team, and San Francisco is one of the best teams in the league at running the ball. Our secondary has also vastly improved down the stretch this season, as well as our defensive line turning into one of the best pass rushing units in the league, pressuring opposing quarterbacks 50% of the time, the highest rate in recent weeks. This is a defense that held the #1 offense in the league, the Cowboys, who have weapons all over the field, to just 17 points, even after gifting the Cowboys 4 extra drives in the game. All in all, I expect the 49ers to come out of Lambeau Field with another playoff win and a trip to the conference championship game. So let's all double down on our playoff routines, whatever you gotta do. Also, if you'd like to support the channel in any way, I'll have links for that below. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Niners.